Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Techno Talks here. So in front of us today we do have the iPhone 15 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. And today I'm going to go ahead and do a nice little speed test between these two devices and go ahead and compare them to see which phone beats out the other one. So let's go ahead and get the specs out of the way. The iPhone 15 Pro does come with an A17 Pro chipset with 8GB of RAM, and then the S24 Ultra does come with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 4 Galaxy chipset, which is a little more powerful with 12GB of RAM. So I do want to start off with a boot up test. This doesn't really prove much. However, I still do want to include it. Some people like to see it. And then we'll go ahead and go through some apps, do some RAM management, and also some benchmarks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. All right, starting off with the boot up test in 3, 2, 1. And let's go ahead and wait for both these devices. Also, both these devices are connected to the same Wi-Fi. I don't have any cellular connection on these, and so they should be a fair fight. Let's go ahead and see. The S24 Ultra is putting up some animations. The iPhone does turn on, and that was very similar. I think that was the iPhone just by a tad bit, but I'm not exactly sure. And again, if you do see anything that I mess up on, just go and let me know in the comments down below. So let me go and open these up and start off with the tests. All right, so we're gonna go through some stock apps first, and then some social media, some more apps, and then we do have some games, we do have some benchmarks, and again, I do have the Wi-Fi connected to the same connection, and then Bluetooth is turned off for both these devices. So we can now begin. I do want to start off with calculator in 3, 2, 1. Did seem like the iPhone. Start off with clock. Again, very similar. Camera. Did seem like the S24 Ultra. Go ahead and flip it around. And that was the iPhone. Instagram. Does seem like the S24 Ultra right there. Move on to X. Let's see. They're both loading up right now. Does seem like the iPhone 15 Pro. The S24 Ultra is slow. And yes, that is the iPhone 15 Pro. Groupon. That does seem like the S24 Ultra. The iPhone did reload. ESPN. Let's see. Seems like the iPhone did load up the video first. The S24 Ultra is still loading up the video. Amazon. Let's go ahead and redo that. Alright, go back to Amazon. Does seem like the iPhone 15 Pro. The S24 Ultra is still trying to load in. And boom, the S24 Ultra is now opened it up. eBay. Does seem like the S24 Ultra. YouTube. And it does seem like the S24 Ultra. The iPhone is taking a tad bit longer. Alright, Chipotle. Does seem like the S24 Ultra. And now we can go on to our game. So Smash Your Road 1 to 2. Go and see. Does seem like the iPhone. Now Temple Run 2. Very close. But let's see. Does seem like the S24 Ultra did open this up first. Go ahead and wait up on these. And yes, this is going to be the S24 Ultra. Go ahead and click play on both of these. Asphalt 9. This might take a tad bit longer, but we'll have to see. They are both loading in right now. And that does seem like the iPhone 15 Pro. The S24 Ultra is still loading in, and it does finally open it up. Dead Trigger 2. Very close, but it does seem like the S24 Ultra did load that in, and if we do click play on both of them, see which one opens it up first. Once again, this might be the S24 Ultra. So both very great. Both did beat out each other on some apps. Some of them Samsung took it, some of them the iPhone took it. But again, this all depends on your use case. All right, so now let's go ahead and do our RAM management test. Go ahead and go back to calculator, clock, our cameras. This will just open up the cameras again. Instagram, so far no reloads. Twitter or X, Groupon, going strong for both. Amazon, eBay, still going good. YouTube did reload on the S24 Ultra, so that's going to be one reload there. Chipotle, and the iPhone did start playing something in the background because of Amazon. Smash Road 1 to 2, still open. Temple Run 2 did reload on the S24 Ultra. That's going to be the second reload right there, which is kind of disappointing. Asphalt 9 still open. All right. Dead Trigger 2 still open. And so the S24 Ultra did fail to keep 2 apps open again. This did happen in a previous test as well. For some reason, Temple Run 2 and YouTube keep reloading on the S24 Ultra. I'm not exactly sure why. I don't have any optimization things or settings enabled on these, and so I have no idea why that's happening. But again, the iPhone did keep up all the apps open, and so the iPhone does beat out the S24 Ultra in that category. So now we can move on to Geekbench 6. We're going to go ahead and do a nice little CPU benchmark. Go ahead and start that. We're going to wait for this and compare the scores. Alright, so both of the tests have completed, and we do have some pretty decent scores. So for the iPhone, the single core score is going to be a lot higher compared to the S24 Ultra. We do have 2,849, and we do have 1,912 on the S24 Ultra. However, for the multi-core score, they are actually very close. We have 7,057 and 6,946 on the S24 Ultra. So some pretty decent scores, and in everyday life, I haven't noticed any issues with both these phones. They do a great job, except that I am still having some slight heating issues with the iPhone 15 Pro. But other than that, everything else is great with these. So now let's go ahead and move on to our 3D Mark test, where we are going to be doing a wildlife stress test. So let me go ahead and get that set up. And now we can begin our test on both these devices. So go ahead and click start. And we'll go ahead and wait for this. Once this is done, I will go ahead and examine the scores and the performance of both these devices. All right, both the devices have completed the test, and here are the scores. So for the best loop score on the iPhone, we did get 9,800, and for the S24 Ultra, we did get 13,000. So pretty good, but the lowest score is a little lower than the iPhone 15 Pro. So the iPhone 15 Pro did stay in its range a little better than the S24 Ultra. The S24 Ultra starts off really well, however the performance does dip down a lot. And then the iPhone 15 Pro does dip down, but it's not as large as the one on the S24 Ultra. And then we can see the performance range here. And then down here is what we want to see. The battery, 90 to 80%, so that's going to be a 10% loss. And then we do have a 7% loss on the S24 Ultra, which is a little better. However, we do have the larger battery with 5,000 milliamp hours. And then for the FPS, the S24 Ultra was higher. We did have 21 for the lowest and 108 for the highest. And then the iPhone 15 Pro was 22 and 61. Unfortunately, for some reason, I don't think I can see the temperature on the iPhone 15 Pro, but again, here is the temperature for the S24 Ultra, 38 degrees Celsius, and then 44 degrees Celsius, which is what it went up to. However, they do feel a little hot to the touch, but it's not too bad. Alright, so that'll basically wrap it up for this test. As you saw, both devices did perform really well, and again, in day-to-day usage with both these devices, I have had a great time, and as I said, the iPhone 15 Pro, the only drawback that I've ever had is going to be the heating problem. So that'll basically wrap it up for this video. As always, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and see y'all in the next one.